Hello, grade 9 precise scholars, and welcome to our new video lesson. So, for this video, we're going to talk about the last topic that is covered for your long test 2, which is all about how to construct a phylogenetic tree or a cladogram. Alright, so we have two learning goals that we need to attain at the end of this lesson. First, you have to determine how a phylogenetic tree or cladogram is constructed. And secondly, you're going to construct a phylogenetic tree or cladogram based on a given set of characters. So in this illustration, this shows the common utensils used in the kitchen. If you're going to arrange them in your kitchen, how would you sort them out? Would you arrange them by function, by shape, or by make? What do you think is the best characteristics to sort them out? Alright, so did you know that scientists also need to sort and list characteristics of organisms being classified when they are constructing a phylogenetic trees or cladograms? So the more representative of relatedness the characteristic, the more effective the tree in showing evolutionary history. Alright, so please remember, kids, that when you are constructing a phylogenetic trees or cladograms, you have to list the characters or the traits of organisms to be classified. As you can see here in this table, this presents a group of organisms in columns and some characters in rows. So an X mark here indicate that the column or in the column signifies that the organism possess that particular characters or characteristics. Okay, so the list should show whether the characters or the traits are shared by all organisms. Assume meron tayong ancestral characters, okay? Or not shared at all, yung mga derived characters. So, ito yung example ng list na ipinapakita ko sa inyo, okay? Remember, the first step to determine the character that is common to all organisms. So, that will be the first step, okay? You have to determine ano nga ba yung characteristics or traits na common sa lahat ng mga organisms na nakalist among your or on your list, okay? So these traits or character is assumed as the ancestral organism or the ancestral condition. Yung halimbawa dito, kung makikita natin, ang notochord ang characteristics that all organisms possess, right? So meaning, the notochord should characterize the oldest ancestor at the base of any cladogram or tree to be constructed. The next step is to determine the next most common character among the organisms. After the notochord, nalaman na natin na siya ang general characteristics na lahat ng organisms na nakalista natin, yung lamprey, antelope, bald eagle, alligator, and sea bass. Lahat sila ay may notochord. Ano nga ba yung notochord? Ito yung naka-embedded sa ating spinal column. Okay? So in this case, after the notochord, ano yung mas sumunod na may pinakamaraming characteristics? So the presence of jaw or jaws. Okay? So it is shared by all except the lampreys. Yung organism na lamprey ay walang jaw. Jawless yon. Okay? So this means that the lamprey is the outgroup ang tawag doon. Wala na siya sa group kaya tinawag siyang outgroup. Ayan, na iniimbestagahan natin. So the lamprey is then represented by a branch that is separated from the rest of the group. Okay? Dahil siya lang yung organism na walang jaw or jawless. And then, next na naman, you have just to identify ano yung sumunod na dapat meron tayong organism na magiging outgroup or mawawalan na sila sa grupo. Mawawalan na siya ng characteristics. Okay? Alright, so if this process continued, malalaman natin kung ano na yung mga characteristics na unique sa mga organisms na yun or yung mga organisms na yun ay nagpo-possess ng ganong characteristics. You, as you add them, ayan, you are making a tree or branches on a tree based on the presence or absence of the character or the traits. And then you will eventually place all the organisms on separate branches. As you can see here, this is an example of a phylogenetic tree or the cladogram in some point. Ayan, makita natin na yung notochord ay nasa baba, malapit siya sa root, okay? So, siya yung characteristics na lahat ng organisms ay meron. After once, nag-branch ito ng dalawa, kaya dichotomous, okay? Nag-branch siya ng dalawa, ang isa na nagiging outgroup na yung lamprey. Wala na siya sa group kasi ano yung sumunod na characteristics? Yung jaws. Yung jaws ay pinoposes ng bald eagle, alligator, antelope, and sea bass. And then, gagawa ka na naman ng another branch. Nagba-branch off naman sila. Meron ka na namang magiging outgroup. So, makikita natin, next na characteristics ay ang lungs. So, sea bass lang among the four organisms na nakalista natin ang walang lungs. Kaya nasa outgroup na naman siya. Then, you're going to create another branch. So, makikita natin, merong dalawang characteristics here. Yung gizzard and hair. Okay? Yung gizzard, ito yung part ng digestive system ng organism. So, kung makikita natin, yung hair, among the three organisms, yung bald eagle, alligator, and antelope, yung antelope lang ang nagpo-possess ng hair. Kaya, after that characteristic, ando na siya nag-branch off, itong antelope. Ang gizzard naman, mayroong dalawang organism that possess the characters called gizzard. At yun ay ang bald eagle at ang alligator. Okay? So, para maging outgroup na yung isa sa kanila, you have to determine another characteristics or trait. Yun yung feathers. Okay? So, sa dalawang yun, syempre, yung bald eagle lang yung may feathers. Kaya, siya yung nag-branch off after that characteristics. So, kung makikita natin, lahat yon ng mga organisms ay nasa separate na mga branches. Therefore, you create now a cladogram or a phylogenetic tree. Okay, now we're going to explore some points that you need to remember when you are constructing or interpreting, a tree or a cladogram. First is that the focus should be on the branches and the way they are connected to each other. Okay, remember, nakafocus tayo sa branches at kung paano sila connected or related to each other. So, by doing this, we can able to provide information or important information kung ano nga ba yung mga characteristics na unique or meron yung mga organisms or some of them possess and others did not. Okay? So, this is a way that we can able to classify organisms or we can able to know their relatedness and their evolutionary history, and we're going to arrange them according to their taxa or group. So the evolutionary history is not determined from the organism sequence at the top. Hindi naman sinasabi na dahil nauna siya yung isang organism ay mas matanda na as compared to the other organisms. Pinapakita lang ng phylogenetic tree yung relatedness ng mga organisms and their history kung sino yung mas nag-diverge first among the organisms na nakalista sa iyong cladogram. Number 2, tracing the branch point downwards or backwards will lead you to the most recent common ancestor. Pag nag-trace tayo pababa sa tree, malapit sa roots, malalaman natin kung anong mga organisms at ano yung characteristics or traits nila na pinaka most common ancestor. Ibig sabihin, yun yung kanilang pinagmulan ng mga organisms or yung organisms na yon ay may somewhat same traits na meron sa ibang mga organisms na nakalista sa iyong cladogram. Okay? So, you're going to align lang at the top of the tree or the ends of the branches showing the characteristics unique to the organisms listed. Okay, for example, tingnan natin yung figure na to. You can see here that the alligator and the antelope have a more recent common ancestor than the alligator and the sea bass. Diba? Kung makikita natin yung common ancestor ng alligator and antelope ay nagpo-possess ng lungs. While yung sea bass, medyo malayo na sa kanya, yung characteristics lang na sinishare ng sea bass as compared to the alligator is that meron silang mga jaw. Okay? Or jaws. Number 3, remember, a longer line does not mean a longer length of time. Hindi nagsasabi na matagal na nag-evolve o nag-diverge yung longer line kung makikita natin sa cladogram. It just represent the direction of time from past to present or from ancient times to more recent period. Okay? So the lengths do not indicate the evolutionary time between branch points. Hindi dyan sinasabi yung mga line na yan na mas naunang na-develop yung organism na to as compared to other organism. Sinasabi lang, it is like the direction of time from past to present. Okay? So remember this parts of the phylogenetic tree. Meron tayong mga taxa, yung A, B, C, D, E. Yun yung taxa natin, yung mga species na may gusto nating malaman kung related ba sila sa each other. Siyempre, meron yung mga branch point at may mga branches. Okay? Just remember, we are just showing here yung direction ng time from the ancestors and then to the present species na usually ay living as of today. And last point that you need to remember is that trees or cladograms can be represented in different ways and still be identical. Okay? Phylogenetic trees or cladograms ay marami siyang way to represent them. Tingnan natin tong mga figure na to, 'di ba? Merong A, B, C, D, E, yun yung mga species na meron tayong interest to study with. So makita natin merong pareho lang, halos lang yan. May upside down, may left to the right, or from left to right, or merong from bottom to the top, or meron namang mga simple lines lang, or simple trees lang. It's just the same, okay? Any set of inherited characteristics or traits can be useful, as you know, in generating cladograms. So when characters are quantitatively represented or their relatedness, the cladograms generated can be very powerful tool para malaman natin so we can understand how organisms or how we can understand the organisms and to generate hypothesis na sino nga ba sa mga organisms na to ang mas related to each other. So, if we're going to relate phylogenetic trees and cladograms, they can be, ayan sabi nga, presented in many ways. Kung makikita natin dito, each is a different or each has a different shape, but they or individual or individually they represent the same evolutionary history. Okay? It may be difficult for us to see at first, yung itong mga phylogenetic trees na to ay nagko-contain ba ng the same information. Just think of trees like a flexible trees. Ayan. Rather than rigid. Pwede siyang mag-bend. Pwede siyang mag-iba ng structure. Kung titingnan natin, halimbawa, yung phylogenetic trees, sabi ko nga sa inyo, it can be rotated, it can be twisted, or bent out without changing the information it contains. So as you become familiar with these trees, this will become clearer to you. Just remember to help you see the similarities ng mga organisms sa mga branches na yan, you can use some colors or shapes para ma-highlight natin kung anong mga characteristics or traits ang common sa mga organisms na nakalista sa ating mga specific o may nakalista ng mga gusto nating malaman kung sino yung related na mga organisms sa bawat isa. Okay? Alright, to move on, let us discover the 6 steps in making a cladogram. So, titingnan natin kung paano nga ba ginagawa itong cladogram. So, I hope you have your pen with you or your notebook para malaman ninyo as I discuss this topic because later, after our discussion, we're going to create your own cladogram. Alright, here. So, number 1, remember, choose 3 or 4 animals for the endpoints of your cladogram. Pwede namang 5 or 6. Pwede namang sumobra. So, dapat lang hindi bumaba sa 3 na mga organisms na gusto nating tingnan yung relatedness nila. So, the largest cladograms analyzed actually are hundreds or thousands. Or, yan, ganun kadami. 'Di ba, na organisms. So, by the use of computers, madali na lang yun sa mga taxonomists natin or sa mga biologists natin para mag-compile ng ganong kalaking data para makakuha sila ng result. But if you can narrow down, halimbawa, ilang animals lang, pwede na siguro itong mga 3, 4, 5, 6 lang. Okay? So, for example, we're going to choose these animals, dogs, cats, horses, and turtle. Okay? Tingnan natin kung sino nga ba yung mas related to each other. Secondly, ayan, pag nakakuha na tayo, nakalist na tayo ng mga organisms or animals or yung gusto nating mga organisms na titingnan natin kung sino yung mas related to each other or mas magkamag-anak. Next is we have to find a characteristics that all your animals or all the organisms na nakalista dun, mga specific interest mo, have in common. Okay? So here, for example, ano nga ba? Sa among the 4 organisms na na-identify natin kanina, so all of them have backbone. Okay, ito yung general characteristics. Lahat ng mga nakalistang organisms, they possess a backbone. Remember, the first node on your cladogram, yung node mamaya malalaman nyo kung saan nyo nilalagay. Kung halimbawa isa siyang tree, ganito halimbawa yung direction, paano ba? Yeah, ito yung tree, halimbawa don't mind that, ito yung roots. So yung first node, ito yung nasa pinaka malapit sa roots. Okay? So, siya yung nag-represent ng most common ancestor nila. Ayan, that evolve before all the other organisms. Okay? So, yun yung characteristics that they have all in common. So, these characteristics is also the first traits, sabi ko nga, that evolve out of all the characteristics that will eventually be included in your cladogram. So, kanina, ano nga, meron tayo, cats, dogs, horses, and turtles. Remember, they all have backbone. So, meaning to say, ma'am, Nana, siya yung nasa unang node. First node is, if this is the root, ito yung malapit siya sa roots. Okay? Siya, meaning to say, ang kanilang most common ancestor ay nagpo-possess ng backbone. Okay? So, next step, after malaman na natin kung ano yung pinaka-general characteristics or traits na lahat ng organisms ay meron, this is the time for you to brainstorm other characteristics or traits that animals have. Okay? Try to come up with around a twice the number of characteristics as you have animals. Say, example, meron tayong 4 dito, pwede kang mag-list daw ng sumobra pa sa 4 or 8, twice the number ng animals na meron tayo. So, make a table. Much eventually, mas maganda pag gumawa tayo ng table. Run your list dito sa ating table kung ano yung mga characteristics sa left side. So, along the top line of the table, yan, nakalagay naman kung ano yung mga animals na yon, the dogs, cats, horses, and turtle. Ayan. Then, you can simply place a check mark in the row for the characteristic na meron yung animal na yon. Okay? For example, you might list, syempre yung backbone, lahat yan meron. Hindi lang yung horses, di ba? Next, ano pa? Hooves. Yung hooves, ito yung parang feet ng mga horses, di ba? Isa lang yun. Walks on 4 legs, ano pa? Carnivorous ba? I-check lang natin kung saan yan yung mga carnivorous dyan. Meron ba yung hair or fur? Are they warm-blooded? Among the 4 organisms na nilista mo dyan, sino dyan yung warm-blooded at cold-blooded? Meron ba yung mammary glands? Or meron ba yung retractable claws? For example, ito yung mga list ng characters na nailista natin. At titingnan natin mamaya. Ayan. So, pag nagbigay na tayo ng check, ayan, halimbawa, sa dog, syempre may backbone siya. Wala siyang hope, so hindi mo ilalagyan na check. Nag-walk pa siya on 4 legs, of course, i-check mo yan. So, lahat basta, remember, when you are constructing a table, make sure that the characteristics na i-check mo, nabigyan mo ng check mark, ay talagang pinoprocess nung organism na nakalista doon sa table mo. Number 4, okay, the fourth step, you have now to narrow down your list. So one animal branches off each node. You have to narrow down ano nga ba yung mga characteristics na yung ibang mga organisms or bawat organisms ay magbabranch off. Merong magiging out group. Mawawala sila sa group. Kung makikita natin, backbone, lahat yan, check. Warm-blooded, turtles lang. Ang hindi warm-blooded kasi cold-blooded yung mga turtles. So, check yan sa dogs, cats, and horses. Carnivorous, among those 4 organisms, syempre dogs and cats lang yung kumakain ng karne. At syempre, ang merong retractable claw ay ang mga cats. Wala yung dogs. Okay? So, kung makita natin sa figure natin dito or sa table natin, yan, one trait, makikita natin ano yung trait na lahat ng animals ay meron. The next step, ano yung traits na wala naman yung isa, makikita natin na nagiging outgroup na yan. Ayan, so if you hit a block here, kung makita natin, mag-brainstorm tayo ng mga characteristics, dapat you must be careful ano nga ba yung mga characteristics na nag-fit doon sa mga organisms na nakalist. Okay? So, ayan, makikita natin kung sino nga ba yung mas related to each other. Okay? And the second to the last step is that you have to draw a concentric circles to illustrate which animals have characteristics in common. Okay. So, yung pinakamalaking circle, the largest circle, represents the characteristics or traits that all your listed animals have in common. Kaya nakalagay yan, ang nasa malaking circle ay ang backbone. Okay? Then, the next step, you have just to draw another circle inside it that represents characteristics that some but not all your organisms have. So, kung makita natin, warm-blooded yung characteristics na nakalagay, na-eliminate na natin or na-outgroup na yung turtle. Okay? So, dito, syempre yung dogs, cats, and horses, sila yung mga may warm-blooded or warm yung kanilang mga blood. Okay? Now, next, inside the circle, you can draw another circles. Ayan, smaller circles. So, nakalagay yung next trait na carnivorous. Dahil tatlo lang naiwan na organism, syempre, since horses are herbivores, meaning they only eat plant material, na-eliminate na sila. Nagiging outgroup na siya. So, ang nasa list na lang natin ay ang dogs and cats. And then, again, you have just to draw smaller circles and then you have to identify ano yung specific na characteristics or traits na meron lang dun sa dalawang organism para maging outgroup na yung isa, para may sarili siyang branch. Siyempre, cats, as you know, ay merong retractable claws. So, siya lang yung nagpo-possess ng yun. Kaya siya yung nasa pinakagitna ng circle. Okay? So, in this example, ayan, remember, turtles will go inside the largest circles dahil siya yung may pinaka-list na characteristics na nalista natin. Next are horses, and then dogs, and then cats. Cats are yung smallest circle since siya lang yung may unique characteristics na nalista mo na napopossess niya. And then, the last step is that you have just to create a cladogram from your concentric circles. Alright? You have to draw a main line. Ayan, ito yung main line. Nakikita ninyo, yung mahabang line na yan, diagonally. Okay? From bottom, left corner, to the right corner. Remember, from left corner to the right corner, yung main line. Then, that's the time for you to create a branch a little way up from the starting point at the bottom left corner. Then create the rest of the branches later on as you get until the end. So in the example, turtles would branch off first from the node. Yung black na yan, na circle, yan yung node na sinasabi ko sa inyo. That represents the characteristics. So yung backbone. Diba? So napasama pa ang turtle sa may mga animals na may backbone kaya nasa loob pa siya or after pa siya ng node na yon. Your next node would be the warm-blooded. With those, makikita natin ano yung mga warm-blooded organisms ulit, horses, dogs, and cats. So, na-outgroup na yung turtle. Okay? Kaya hindi siya napasama after the node na merong warm-blooded. Then, you would branch branch of dogs from carnivorous and cats, diba? Leaving only the cats here na merong retractable claws. Yun yung last node na ang cats lang ang nagpo-possess. Okay? So you can see, bawat organism na nakalista ay may sariling branch na kung saan sila ay na-eliminate or nagiging outgroup. Okay? Alright, so please do remember the 6 steps dahil gagawin nyo yan after this. Okay? After nitong slide na to on the next slide. Okay. Now, before kayo gagawa ng inyong sariling cladogram, magbibigay ako mamaya ng list of animals. And then, ayan. Tingnan natin muna let's just see first, ayan, why are cladograms important? Bakit nga ba sila importante? Diba? Why do we need to study this type of concept? Remember, the only answer is that cladograms give us better understanding of how animals are related than the traditional system of classification, which is yung kay Linnaean, di ba, na nakataksa lang. Yan, dito, mas makita natin, mas maintindihan natin kung paano sila related to each other. Ayan. So, it can give us, you might, learned, di ba, from our previous lesson na sa Linnaean classification system, yung inorganize lang niya yung iba't ibang kingdoms. Plants, animals, plantae, fungi, protista, animalia, yeah, or bacteria and archaea. May mga phyla sila. Ayan. But dito, sa phylogenetic tree of classification, mas magiging accurate siya. Kasi we can able to see what specific characteristics or paano ba sila related to each other. Okay? Alright, so that's the end of my presentation. So I hope you learned a lot. And now you know how to construct a phylogenetic tree or a cladogram. Alright, kids. So, wag muna ninyong i-end itong aking video because you have your own task to do. Okay, here. You have to make your own cladogram following the 6 steps. Alright? In a one whole sheet of paper, doon nyo yun isulat. And then, I need you to submit it by Tuesday as well. Okay? So, here's the list of animals: fish, frog, lizard, bird, wolf, and monkey. Ayan. Following the 6 steps, you need to create your own cladogram. Good luck! And if you have questions or clarifications, or ayan, please don't hesitate to ask me. Okay? Mag-message lang kayo sa akin, and if I have time, and I'll do my best para mag-reply. Okay? So that's all, and I hope you learn and enjoy our lesson. Goodbye, kiddos!